Hi, everyone. We'll get started. So welcome again to the Competitive Advantage Talks presented by Ticketmaster. My name is Sam Feder. I'm a second year here at MIT Sloan, and it's my pleasure to introduce this presentation, A Clear Brand Identity Wins. So please join me in welcoming our speaker, the EVP, Brand and Community with Los Angeles FC, Rich Orozco.
Thanks, Sam. You're the man, Sam. Thank you. Excited to be here. Very excited. LAFC should not have happened in a 9-team market with university teams also. And what we accomplished in 1 year has been pretty incredible. Many, many reasons, but today what we'll talk about is a clear brand identity, which is one of the reasons why we took off. But what I'd like to start real quick is on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as the soccer acumen in here, 10, you follow a team overseas and you have jerseys in your closet. Who are the 10s real high? Because it helps me. What the 10s? High, but 10. We got some 10s. Our assistant GM of LAFC, Will Coons, he's a 10. You better be a 10. 5s. You watch the World Cup. You bought a Brazil jersey. It's in your closet. France. A few 5s. And then who are the 0s and 1s, which means you can spell soccer, which is okay. And I'm going to get to something. It's not wrong. 0s and 1s real high? All right, perfect. If the 0s and 1s didn't feel comfortable in our stadium, didn't get the experience, we would not be packed. It would not have worked. So that was our approach from day one, was creating something which is soccer and more, which we'll talk about. So we'll kick off. So what we're going to show you today is we call it our club brief. It's actually, from the consumer products world, it's your brand brief. It's your identity. And we really believe that this was one of the drivers that let us cut through the clutter of, again, a market where this should not have happened. And those of you who've been to matches, a few in here who've been to matches that I see, some friendly faces, Charlie right there in MLS too, you'll kind of get what that means. So the first video we'll play, let's see if it works. All right, I'll press play in a second. This is the video that launched the Crescent Colors to 1,000 people at Union Station in downtown LA, which was a very exciting day. And you'll kind of get the why behind what we're about.
There's something about a match, about a game, about a team, something you pass down through a story, through your family, generation to generation. It's like time itself is living within you. It's time for the world's game to live in the heart of the world's city. Street by street, block by block, one by one. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters all come out, rise up, and say, "This is our club. We are LA." It's about what we are as a people, as a city. This will be our story. Built together, we will make history. Our crest begins with our great city, LA, done in the Art Deco style of our history. At its heart lies the iconic wing, paying homage to the city of angels. A global symbol of power, mobility, and great aspirations. The shield is from our city's seal, and our colors black and gold. They embody the success and glamour of our history, and the strength and texture of our streets. These are the colors. These are our symbols. This is our crest. We are LAFC.
My favorite question after this is, are you with us or are you against us? With us? All right, good. I'm feeling it. This video, we had a sales experience center early, and this video was played thousands and thousands of times for the first people that walked into a room to learn about LAFC. And again, you guys all, I'm sure, have read about the why behind whatever you do, and that was the design of that video. So I'd like to kick off real quick to give you perspective of our journey from October 2014, when the club was announced, to today. So first of all, we have a $300+ million stadium in the heart of LA, monster appreciation to our ownership group for taking a big bet not only in the sport, but in the heart of Los Angeles. And the stadium, if you haven't been there yet, who's been to a game real high? All right, we got a few. Awesome. If you haven't been yet, it's worth a weekend trip, I promise you. We'll get to that. We have a $30 million performance center, state-of-the-art training facility. Again, we talked about launching a 19 market, which on paper was impossible. The same sport as a 5-time champ, and in the same sport as a failed franchise, and we pulled it off. On the sports side, we were very lucky that we have one of the most famous coaches in U.S. soccer history in Bob Bradley and a Mexican superstar in Carlos Vela, so an incredible combo out of the gate. Record-breaking points in our first season, amazing. Playoffs inaugural season, 17 home match sellouts. Our supporter section, for those who don't know soccer, a fan is not a supporter, and we'll get to that. A supporter stands and sings for 90 minutes plus, win or lose. That was a key part of our strategy. And we had the biggest jersey launch in MLS history, over $95 million in earned media in season 1. And our focus on digital is engagement, so top 3 in engagement in digital. And we like to finish with, we have Will Ferrell, which is not a joke. All of our ownership group is super authentic about why they're a part of it. But Will would not be gravitating to us if he didn't feel some heart to what we do. So this quote, Bill Plaschke, legendary sports writer for the LA Times, he tees up everything for us. So what he said after going to the opening match, the official opening of the 22,000-seat Bank of California Stadium on Sunday night was about more than a soccer match. It was the unlocking of something completely different. For a couple of hours, it was wonderful. Staples Center loud, Dodger Stadium crazy, the building beautiful and rowdy and perfect. And this teases us up to this, is that LAFC is soccer and more. That's Soccerhead, by the way, every single match. You could have your face on there if it's your birthday. I can send him a text right now. A team that didn't exist yet, you have somebody showing up painting his face in gold, and I'll get to that. So, number one, we're soccer and more. Number one, we're a celebration of Los Angeles, and the best sports teams do that. Being here in Boston, the Red Sox, you come to feel the heart of the team, and the team reflects the city. So, what we also wanted to do in reviewing our brand identity was not to make it overcomplicated. So again, the best of the best, celebrate LA, celebrate your city. So this video right now I'll play to demonstrate that we were not focused on celebrities at games and getting PR just for that. We are focused on what we call micro-influencers. The video I'm going to show you right now is a pastor in LA. He runs probably the hippest Christian church in LA, a few of them, and we know that of his 100,000 followers on social media, people trust him. It could be somebody in your market who's a craft foods or a chef or a cocktail specialist. But we want 1,000 of those people at our stadium giving their testimony about what they see. This is completely unscripted. We found him, we put a mic on him, and I threw him in the mix.
One of the biggest differences in the world was a lot of teams tried to come to LA, but this team came out of LA. When I came to LAFC, it felt like this is the soul of our city. Filled with passion, intensity, it's diverse, it's beautiful. When I came in here, I thought, I'm home. I knew this was built by love. I knew it was built with passion. When I walked in this space, I thought, no, love built this. This is a community. This is a family. This is a tribe. What's going on behind me is insane. They are raving fans. That is passion, excitement, zeal, enthusiasm, love is happening right behind me. This is unbelievable. This is LA.
So that's season 1. And what we've learned early is everybody's story, your why, whether you like black and gold or you kicked a soccer ball with your grandfather 50 years ago, it doesn't matter. Everybody's story is important. And so we're going to continue to just bring people there and let you talk about your experience. So number 2, very simple again, not complicating things. We are a passionate community. And as you can see from these visuals, Commander on my right, on your right there, walked in the first meeting with us. He had a skull. He had a skull and a stick when he walked in a meeting to meet us for the first time. And your natural default is to have your story in your head about what this guy's about and kind of discard him to the side, like, that's great, buddy, you have a skull in your hand. This guy is literally represents the heart of our club. We celebrate him, we embraced him, we hugged him, we accepted him for exactly who he was, and this guy brought thousands behind him. And again, anybody who shows up, we want to celebrate who you are and where you come from. So this video, again, we're 1 year in. Watch the guy at the very end of the video. You're kind of get it, what people are feeling about the club and the brand. Mid-season, our stadium is called the Bank of California Stadium, so mid-season, we coined the hashtag Defend the Bank.
Clock on red, I made a name for myself. Can't lie, I'm doing well for my age. Two dogs at the praying on my downfall. Well, they just choose in the casket, now they souls in the grave. I'm a star right, gotta bark right. I induce pain, I am Luke Kane, mix a Bruce Wayne. I'm a Dark Knight, what you stargaze. Got a hard bite, I'm a dog at the leash, better talk right. Better do this, not the new kid, been a student. You're a doofus, on a real, if you clueless. When I shoot shit, down too crisp, better let it all hang out like a nudist. Oh, you wanna know who I am? Oh, you wanna know me? I'm a man, thought you knew. Now you know what it do. I'm a 94 baby.
I love that guy.
Swanking like a brand new Mercedes.
And then third is we want to be known as a force for good. If you ask anybody in LA in a room what sports team does the most good, it's often silence and it's a heavy pause. Most people lean towards the LA Dodgers. They are the closest to a cultural icon in our city, and that's who we want to align ourselves. We'll never have the most community events in the entire city compared to other teams, but what we want to do is do small events with high impact, and the scalability is content on top. I'll talk about a strategy a little later, but we talk about street by street, block by block, one by one. And we were in a 20-person meeting at MLS, one of Charlie's buddies, I won't name his name, and he's like, this is great, this whole one-by-one thing, I love it. He's like, how is this scalable? Great question. And that fired us up, because if you tell the stories, which you're going to see right here, if you tell the stories, that's what's scalable. Content makes the one-by-one scalable. One-by-one is hard. You got to roll up your sleeves. It's not easy, but you'll see how we represent it. This video, we started a youth leadership program which teaches job skills and leadership skills through soccer and sport. This video is the day that the kids found out they were officially a community program of LAFC, and you'll kind of see the impact.
One of the things that we talk about is accountability. Accountability is owning something. And from day one, we talked about you owning this program, owning your actions, owning your responsibility, owning what you bring to the kids, owning what you bring to your community, owning what you bring to your family. These things are what take us from a normal program to a great program. You are what make this great.
When I heard what this program was all about, the light bulb went off, because this was exactly what we needed at the core of our club, to be good members of the community in Greater Los Angeles and to make good on our promise to unite the world's city through the world's game. And at the core of our club, we needed heart and soul and passion. That's what you folks bring. I am extremely proud to be the one to announce that we have made an official bond between your organization and our club. You are part of LAFC in heart, in spirit, and now on paper. Welcome to the club.
You could feel that And that Scalable is pretty incredible. I'll fly through a little bit right now so we can get to the end for some questions, but our vision, which by definition is what is the future you're creating, is to unite the world city through the world's game. Early, our ownership group coined that, and it stayed. It's a forward-thinking, it's a rally cry that nobody can argue with, and that's really important if you're in marketing and branding, is what are you about, and what are we rallying around? So uniting LA through the world's game, who can argue with that? I'll play this video. This is the groundbreaking in August of 2016, but you'll see our ownership group, which is star-studded. Magic Johnson, Peter Guber, Nomar Garcia-Parra, Mia Hamm, Will Ferrell, but you'll see how we use them in content, which is not, you know, Will, by default, you would think, let's write him a joke. That's not how we use them, and you'll see why everybody's a part of this. This was the day we announced the stadium groundbreaking. You'll see our early supporters, and these guys give a speech about why they're here with the club.
We start now.
3, 2, 1. We're thrilled to announce Bank of California as our official naming rights partner on the Cathedral of Soccer in America.
It's been almost 10 years that we've been looking at this building.
Anybody that thinks building a stadium in downtown Los Angeles on the main street is an easy deal, not a chance.
We're not just here to build a stadium or to build a team. All the owners here are really committed to doing everything we can to help the community to reunite.
People now can live and work and come to enjoy a great soccer game and soccer team right in their own community.
A soccer-only stadium with a view of downtown is a crazy dream, and now it's happening.
Today we write our own chapter. The chapter of the Los Angeles Football Club.
We're going to gather together for something bigger than ourselves. This is where LA unites.
This is powerful because the ownership group was on the same page again. Identity, they were on the exact same page, and this was completely unscripted, but it all felt together because we were all on the same page. We talked about our strategy, street by street, block by block, one by one. That's Carlos, the day we announced him. We call this our Carlos Jesus photo, where he was feeding the fish and the bread. All that fun stuff. But look at those faces. You can't script that joy and those faces. And we obviously took that photo to make it look like there was millions behind him. There was about 800 people, which was good. This video, just the one-by-one spirit, is the day that the Supporters Union was announced. And again, it's important for you to see how everybody started rallying with this identity and building together.
Welcome to the heart of the city. Welcome to the heart of Los Angeles.
As you see today, we are wearing the 3252. This is our supporter union. All of us independent supporters of LAFC working together to work as a family, to work as one, be the best supporter section in MLS and hopefully in the world.
3252 stands for 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 equals 12. The 12th player, that's the fan, that's all of you. I want to see not only 3,200 cheering, I want to see 22,000.
And now on behalf of the ownership group, I'm proud to announce that we will have safe standing rail seats in the Bank of California Stadium.
I am in the 3252. You are in the 3252.
This is family. This is LA.
Our mission, our organizational purpose is to deliver an unrivaled fan experience to create a best-in-class business and soccer organization. And now for season 2, what we're really excited about is it's very simple to bring joy to people. And if every single person in the organization has that headspace, it works in aggregate. I'm going to skip this video. It's another fire video about the match itself and a bunch of smiles. Borussia Dortmund, Germany, 80,000 people a game, 25,000 person supporter wall. We traveled there. We learned. They're all about being a service-driven club where members serve the club and the club serves the community. All staff and fans should be about serving Los Angeles, and that's the ethos that we're presenting very early. In brand speak, it's good to clarify a little bit more about who you are. You look on the left side, what we are. On the right side, what we're not. If we go in the top row, we always said we were building together from day one, not doing it alone. We always said grassroots, not mass market. Peter Guber coined relationship, not transaction. It works in aggregate. City first, then club. Never club over city. Swagger and cool is what people want to be a part of. You're not going to see us in social be jokey and goofy or telling 17-year-old kids to delete their Twitter account. That's not what we're about. Heart and depth is big. You'll see in our content versus surface. And lastly, we're not afraid to take a stand, and that crest should mean something, and that's why people are wearing it. We're not going to play it safe. This imagery, amazing, feels like National Geographic to us. That's an Iraq war veteran with his son. They got the war paint on. They're in the North End. But that's our identity, is that we're the heart of Los Angeles. If you look in our social handles, it's street by street, block by block, one by one, and the heart of LA. In sports marketing season 2, people, by default, they want to do a new campaign, and we rise together, we're going to win again, and all that stuff. We weren't about that. We want to hammer home who we are first, and that's our approach. And this is a big, big thing of who we are. The stadium's in the heart, and everybody in there is the heart of LA. This is a quick 30-second video. Ray Hudson, football commentator, if you watch any El Clasico game with Barca and Real Madrid, he's the voice. Again, we threw a mic on him. I wanted him to talk about what he was seeing, and people trust Ray, and that's the idea.
This passion, in this fervor, in this down-to-earth, pulsating soul of the game. That's what this is. And it's not false, it's not manufactured. You look at every individual in that throng of people, and football is coming through their eyeballs.
He said football is coming through their eyeballs. That's amazing. I love Ray. Core values, principles that guide our actions. Number 1, integrity. We said from day one that we build in the heart of the city. We were saying that before we had the land. When we found Expo Park and we built there, our fans started to trust us. So as an organization, you will make mistakes, but if you own it and you fix it, it will work. You will earn trust, which will drive everything you do. Authenticity drove us, true to LA and true to the global game. There was a 3-month conversation about soccer versus football, long argument. We chose FC because we wanted everyone to know we wanted to be in the global environment out of the gate. So the British expat in LA or the Argentinian guy, they're going to know that you're a proper football club. But that was a very important decision to stay true to the game, the global game. And then inclusive, we talk about the 0s and 10s. We want everybody to feel like you're welcome at BOC Stadium. Our attitude, aka brand personality, how do we speak and act? Bold was huge. Early, we were looking right and left at what everybody else was doing. And the minute we all focused on forward, it started happening. Even our crest, we have LA in our crest, and the competitor had LA in its crest. And early we're like, maybe we shouldn't do this. And when we were in that bold space of saying, we're here and we are in the heart, we grabbed it, we put it in our crest, and now it's ours, and that's how we feel. Relentless is that hungry, tenacious challenger space, always be there, and then respectful again. You'll see our social media tone was going to be more respectful, but with some personality. And then, most importantly at the end, is our soccer philosophy. If our assistant GM Will here, and if John Thornton, our GM, or Coach Bradley didn't also believe in the importance of this identity and didn't translate it to the sports side, it wouldn't work. And this, what we're about on the soccer side, we're committed to the development of world-class players and people. So the last video will be about our academy, and you'll kind of see the flavor of what we're trying to create with the kids.
I was born here. I play here. I work for this every day, on the field, in the classroom.
These are the things that we need to do. To that free space or to that free space, that team was strong inside, but was weak outside.
I'm committed to my team. I'm also committed to myself. I gotta stay humble. Gotta stay focused. Coach says play with my heart. Coach says it takes a team.
Hey, you trying to come in our house and beat us? Let's go.
My parents drive me to practice all week long, to matches too. They are committed to my growth. One day, I'll be in that stadium, in front of my family, in front of my city. Dreams don't just happen. You gotta put in the work. This is me. I'm putting in the work. I play in the heart of the city. I play for the LAFC Academy.
And lastly, the magic of sports, being a part of something bigger than yourself. This was an academy game before we had a team, before we had a stadium. And this little guy, Tommy Mark, knew exactly what this was about. He found the photographer, he ran at him, he grabbed his crest. That was an exciting moment for us on the inside because we knew it was coming and people were feeling it. I lied, one more video. This video is very exciting. Midsummer, something started happening in the stadium. A chant started, which is Jump for LA Football Club. And the entire North End, 3,000-person supporter section, it started evolving. It started on the grass in Expo Park a few months earlier, and this video, to finish it off, represents really being a part of something bigger than yourself. We're very excited for season 2 to keep building. As you'll see, season 1 was pretty fun. Season 1. This is happening because everybody in the stadium knows what we're about. Very simple. And that entire section feels loved and respected by the club. And that's priceless. So to finish, another unscripted photo moment from our rally. I want to welcome all of you to the club. Come to Los Angeles, see a game. Right, Mitch? It's awesome. See a game. So thanks. I think we have a little time, since this is the last session in the room, we could have our 5 or 10 minutes for questions if you have questions.
So you have a 22,000-seat stadium and 17,500 members.
Yep.
Have you guys capped that number, or is the idea to have the entire stadium?
So the question was 17,500 members and 22,000 capacity. We want to cap. We do want to stay at 17.5 because we want to leave room for groups and single game buyers, so yes, we want to leave a little bit of breathing room. Yeah. And also, show rate is a challenge in sports. You could cap 22,000 season ticket members, and it's a rainy day, and the place looks empty. So that's also a balance with show rate. How do we feel about having a rival in the same town, and what was their reaction? It was great to have a target where there were things that we wanted to do differently. It was probably great that the LA Galaxy, 5-time champs, probably most successful franchise in MLS history, it was good that we had a Goliath in town as a bunch of little Davids. If the other team in town was not winning it would have been a different energy, I believe, in the stadium, what we were rallying against, but it was probably great that it was a David versus Goliath start. I believe that they were completely surprised at what we became, because some of us internally were surprised. We felt it, but we were surprised. There's no way that they were prepared for what happened, so we're very excited about a rivalry out of the gate that's formidable in season 1. This year, if you can get to LA for one of those 2 games, you have to be there. It feels like Europe and South America for the first time in Los Angeles, and that's what we're excited about. Yep. Sure. Yeah, the magic of sports rituals, traditions, everything was co-created. Every single chant, we have a falcon in the beginning of the match. It's a ritual. It's not a mascot. It's a ritual. Everything was co-created with our supporter groups and our fans. We had co-creation was a monster commitment to us early. We had workshops regarding the stadium design. We had workshops with fans regarding the supporter section. We didn't script. I don't think we scripted any of our big rituals. We didn't script one of them. It had to have been enrollment. Jump for LA Football Club, we could have come out of the gates and held signs up and done that. That would have never worked. We had to, but what we did was, when it was getting big, we threw Will Ferrell in the capo stand. For Will, money cannot buy the experience of jumping in a capo stand and rocking with 3,000 people. So we did use our resources to amplify what was happening and put content on top. And we did that on purpose that game because we knew it was brewing. And then the global media was pretty incredible. Yeah. So traditional sports marketing, again, you're not going to see T-shirt launchers. You're not going to see raffles out of the gate. Our very first events, we just called Black and Gold Rallies. If you're authentic to football culture, it's about me and Mitch having a pint in England. That's it. That's it. It's about spending time together. So we framed our first events, beer, songs, and drums. Everybody's like, well, what's going on? Beer, songs, and drums. And okay, I get it. And if you don't know football culture, you're curious about it. You're like, okay, this is what it's like. If you do know it, you know exactly the people behind the curtain. They're building something authentic to the culture, and that was really important. So great question, Will, and it was not planted.
Did you capture former fans of Chivas or even the Galaxy? And so, why do you think they migrated to?
Sure. So the franchise that failed was Chivas USA in 2014. The Galaxy have been there since 1996. I believe the casual fans of the Galaxy, definitely some casual fans came over, closer location downtown, public transport, etc. Chivas USA, some of our early supporter groups came from Chivas USA. What was really interesting if you're strict about a new brand, sometimes you might not be open to the community around you, whether or not they supported a different team. It would have been a monster mistake not to welcome them with open arms. When we learned they were just about football and they lost their team, they considered themselves widowers, the early supporters. So there were some birds in our ears telling us not to be open to the supporters of the former team, and that would have been the biggest mistake we made, because when we were open to them and brought them in, we had a 17-year-old Argentinian kid on the west side named Fernando that now has one of the largest supporter groups. He had to learn from those guys, from their experience, and that's what made it explode. Sure, sophomore slump, everybody's concerned about that. I think it's an organizational commitment and fire that we're not done. We're not even close, and anything can crumble as fast as it's been built. So I think it's just, even on the soccer ops side, we all thought we under-deliver on that side. Will tell you. And we all want better. So season 2 is better, better, better. If you have that humility standpoint of want to be better, it's going to be hard to be overconfident, be over your skis. None of us are over our skis in our thinking about season 2. We all want to be very humble. We're very excited about the first 5 games because that's going to tell us if we have cement in the ground and it's going. Yep. Great question. My background's TV marketing for 12 years. So I launched TMZ for Warner Brothers. And what I learned from that experience was a super crowded market. There was not more room for an entertainment news show, but we put resources towards talented creatives that were not Craigslist DIY as cheap as you can get. We have, I believe, one of the best graphic designers in world football. We have probably the best video team in aggregate in sports. I'll put our 5 guys against anybody. But that was done by design to put resources into really talented creatives that also believe that what we're doing is important for LA. There's a core of us that believe that LAFC is important for the city, and that's really important, so that is not a job. But creative was huge on the resource allocation. Good creatives.
How do you guys, when you see Atlanta United,
Mm-hmm.
win the whole cup,
Yeah.
70,000 fans, how do you kind of take that, but make sure you kind of run your own race and your
Yeah, Will, are we going to win the Cup season 2? All right, we're going to win the Cup. Right here, you heard it right here. Monster respect for them. What we see in Atlanta is the brand met the build. That's what we say. So the brand was hot early, and then the team was young, swagger, and they were winning. I believe we had that moment last year where the brand that was brewing met the build on the field. So excited to see what they were able to accomplish in season 2. It absolutely fires us up. And monster respect for the 70,000. I'll put our 3,000 in our North End against any of their 3,000, but what they've done in their city is unbelievable, and it inspires us that we can do it in season 2, and you heard it from our assistant GM right here, so that means it's going to happen. Yeah, we didn't use outside agencies for the creative. We were fortunate enough to have a core that was very talented, had a lot of experience. Maybe one more? Yep.
What would you say was your biggest surprise just from coming out of season 1 that you want to take into
Wow, good question. Biggest surprise. How quickly, and that's probably why we're presenting, how quickly people resonated with a very simple identity, and when they saw other people engaged, that was the grassroots wildfire that everybody tries to buy with a billboard. So how quickly it happened was probably our most pleasant surprise. Cool. I'll stick around if you have any more questions, but I think I went 10 minutes late, which I broke the rules, which is good. Thank you.